UNESCO or United Nations educational, scientific, and cultural organizations are founded in 1945 to promote peace and security through education, science, culture, and communications. It also leads global initiatives like education programs, tsunami warning systems, and the World Heritage Lists. To understand its role, we'll look at the 5 C's: the conservation, communication, credibility, capacity building, and communities. For conservation, examples include the rice terraces of Ifugao in Luzon, Tubataha Reefs in Palawan, and Mount Hamiguitan in Davao. For communication, we see Intramuros in Manila, the Sandugo Festival in Bohol, and the Hermosa Festival in Zamboanga promoting awareness of heritage. Credibility is shown through sites like Vegan in Luzon, Melgyo Church in Iloilo, and efforts to recognize the Lake Lanao in Mindanao. Capacity building involves training people and institutions to sustainably protect heritage, such as local program for farmers, fisher folk, and cultural workers. And lastly, the communities. Communities highlight the involvement of locals in preservation, like Ifugao people maintaining the rice terraces, the Visayan communities keeping their festivals alive, and Mindanaoan groups preserving indigenous traditions.
The World Heritage List was established to protect and recognize cultural and natural treasures of outstanding value. And here in the Philippines, many sites have already been acknowledged as World Heritage, reflecting the country's rich cultural and natural heritage. But let us look more at its main purposes. It is to protect cultural and natural heritage as it makes sure that these sites are safe from damage or loss. It is to promote international cooperation and conservation. It encourages countries to work together and to protect heritage. Lastly, it is to raise global awareness of heritage importance as it teaches people why heritage matters and why we must take care of it.
The UNESCO accomplishment includes the World Heritage Convention. It links together in a single document the concepts of preservation and conservation of the cultural properties. Next is the intangible cultural heritage. It includes the practices, knowledge, and expressions that communities recognize as a part of their identity. Global campaign. In early 2022, the UNESCO launched a global communication campaign to strengthen its voice within the peace community. Living Heritage and Education. To empower teachers, use living heritage as teaching approaches and resources in education and build a new generation of human resources. Convention on the Protection and Promotion of Diversity of Cultural Expressions. Conscious that cultural diversity forms a common heritage of humanity. 1970 Convention, the means of prohibiting and preventing of illicit import, export, and transfer of ownership of cultural property. The rebirth of Mosul, the UNESCO has proved that culture play an essential role in post-conflict reconstruction and promotion of peace.
Heritage sites are treasures that connect us to our history, culture, and natural world. In the Philippines, these sites come in different forms, each showing a unique part of our identity as a nation. First is we have the natural heritage, which highlights the beauty of our environment. These are landscapes, forests, ecosystems that are unique to the country. A great example is the Puerto Princesa Subterranean River National Park in Palawan, known for its stunning underground river and diverse wildlife. Natural heritage sites remind us to protect our environment for future generations. Second is we have the cultural heritage, which showcases the history and creativity of Filipinos. These include ancient towns, churches, and structures that tell stories of our past. The historic city of Vigan, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is a perfect example with its Spanish colonial era streets and preserved architecture. Third is we have the tangible heritage, the physical objects and artifacts you can see and touch. The perfect example of this is the Golden Tara of Agusan, a gold figure from the 13th or 14th century shows the rich craftsmanship and trade connections of ancient Filipinos. And finally, we have the fourth type of heritage, which is the intangible heritage, which is passed down through traditions, dances, music, and practices. An example is the Hudhud chants of the Ifugao, an epic tradition sung during harvest and special occasions, recognized by UNESCO for its cultural value. These traditions help keep Filipino culture alive and meaningful. Natural and cultural, tangible or intangible, Philippine heritage is a living story of our roots and identity. By preserving these treasures, we ensure that future generations will continue to take pride in our nation's rich history and beauty.
Aside from UNESCO, there are also three important international organizations that help protect cultural and natural heritage. First is ICOMOS. ICOMOS focuses on conserving cultural sites and improving preservation standards. Second is ICROM. ICROM provides training and research for heritage preservation, like programs in National Museum in Manila, disaster preparedness training in Cebu, and artifact care in Davao. Lastly, ICOM. ICOM, or the International Council of Museums, promotes ethical museum practices. For instance, the National Museum in Manila, the Iloilo Museum of Contemporary Art, and Museo Davaoenyo in Davao all follow its standards.
So the World Heritage List includes places that are very special and valuable to all people in the world. And to be chosen, a site must meet at least one of 10 criteria for both the cultural and natural sites. For the cultural sites, it should showcase human creativity, cultural traditions, and unique heritage. As for the natural sites, it should showcase the natural beauty, Earth's history, ecosystems, and habitats for plants and animals. And the World Heritage Sites in the Philippines has 6 recognized World Heritage Sites, 2 mandates to the committee, 34 conservation reports, and has received 30 international assistance grants totaling $567.62 for their preservation. So the Philippines has World Heritage Sites that showcase its cultural achievements and natural wonders. According to the official website of the UNESCO World Heritage Convention, some are already inscribed by UNESCO, while others are still on the tentative list, meaning they are being considered but have not yet gone through the full evaluation and approval process. Here are selected examples from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. So one example in the Luzon, it is the rice terraces of the Philippine Cordilleras. It is a UNESCO-inscribed terraces built by the Ifugao people, showing sustainable farming and strong cultural heritage. One example in Visayas is the Chocolate Hills, Bukol. It is a unique geological formation and it is still tentative because it is awaiting UNESCO evaluation to confirm its universal value. So last is the Mindanao. One example in Mindanao is the Agusan Marsh Wildlife Sanctuary. It is a vast wetland critical for migratory birds. It is still tentative as it requires further assessment of conservation measures and global significance. The World Heritage Sites in the Philippines are more than landmarks. They are symbols of identity, pride, and global recognition. They preserve the nation's culture and biodiversity while also driving tourism and sustainable development. Protecting both inscribed and tentative sites is essential to ensure that these treasures continue to inspire and benefit future generations.